everybody is actually looking forward to owning a house.
I was very, very happy when I got the allocation for the house.
Mortgage can actually work in Nigeria.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us on this episode of Everyone Deserves a Home. I am your anchor, Aisha Mohammed Ahmed. The business of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is to provide houses and mortgages for its customers. But above the provision of these homes and mortgages is the need to ensure that they are affordable for the contributors of the National Housing Fund scheme, who are mostly low and medium income earners. Over the years, the purchasing power of the class has continued to dwindle due to economic challenges. Despite this reality, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has not relented in its efforts towards ensuring that houses and mortgages remain affordable for its contributors. This edition of the program will focus on the effort of the FMBN in making sure that houses and mortgages remain affordable for the average Nigerian. Before this comes up, we'll take highlights of major events from the diary of the FMBN after this timeout. Don't go away.
To improve transparency and accountability in managing the NHF funds, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has introduced *219#. *219# is a new way to know the status of your NHF contribution from anywhere. To use this service, dial *219#. Select 1 to update your contact detail. Press 2 to check your contribution status in any month up to the last 5 years. You can also use our mortgage calculator and bulletin board by selecting options 5 and 6 respectively. You can access other services by using direct shortcodes like *219*3# to retrieve your NHF number, *219*4*1# to check your last 5 transactions, and *219*4*2# to check your statement of account. No internet connection required, and it is available on all networks. *219#. Simpler, smarter, faster. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Everyone deserves a home.
As usual, the program will begin with news highlights from the diary of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. In our lineup, FMBN to continue partnership with AMMC in housing delivery. These and other stories coming up shortly. Keep watching. The Managing Director, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Usman Osidi, has pledged the commitment of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to support and partner with customers who show commitment to the judicious use of funds provided by the bank for the delivery of houses and mortgages.
Abuja Metropolitan Management Council.
He was speaking during a courtesy visit by the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council Cooperative. Osidi commended the cooperative for putting to good use the loan that was given to the cooperative for the construction of houses for its members. He assured the council that the FMBN will continue to do business with partners such as the AMMC cooperative.
I must say that I'm delighted with the way and manner in which you have utilized the funds that were extended to the cooperative society. We are a bank, and we have all kinds of experiences when disbursements are made, even when borrowers go through our normal credit process with all the due diligence and so on. We still have occasions where projects are not either properly managed, and then you will have occasions of diversion of funds and so on and so forth. So I must say that I'm excited that you have, in your words, judicially utilized the funds that were made available to you. Normally, when we approve loans, as you know, we approve loans based on milestones. And when a tranche is utilized, we have a process to check whether the utilization has been judicious, as we expect, and then we proceed to the next tranche. So we will make our best efforts to see how we can progress on this project.
The coordinator of the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, Chief Felix Amechi, who earlier spoke, expressed gratitude to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria for the approval and disbursement of its cooperative housing development loan, which has been used for the construction of 30 housing units. He explained that with the first trench exhausted, there is need for another trench to progress the project.
This cooperative actually have 343 housing units. And I speak to you, we have about 30 that is ready to hand over to the allottees. We have also been able to pay to the developer, that is the contractor, almost 700 million naira. And the loan that was given by your bank, Federal Mortgage Bank, as I speak to you today, we have also been able to repay 220 million naira. And we have also the plan to pay off. But the bottom line lies that while we're here, we are business partners. And without your assistance, we could not have gone thus far. Now this first trench has been judiciously used and managed. We have to plead that we're interested and we're happy. And we're pleading if the second trench can be released to us to enable this building to be completed.
An interaction followed during which the FMBN sought for further clarifications on the project, after which the managing director expressed hope for the completion and commissioning of the AMMC cooperative project.
Like I said, we are happy to do business with organizations that demonstrate seriousness. And our business ordinarily is to provide mortgages, but we are in the business of financing construction for two reasons. Number one, it is either that you don't have houses available, or houses available are not within the threshold of affordability to our target market.
The latest couple in town.
Good day, sir.
How are you? Oh, sit down, sit down, sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Drinks?
No, we're fine, sir.
How was the moon experience?
It was quite an experience.
How about house?
We are renting at the moment, but we intend to save enough to own our own house, right?
Why not avoid all those Shylock landlords and own a house up front? With the average income and cost of building houses today in Nigeria, mortgage is the best option. No sweat. I tell you what, that was how I got my first house, and I've never regretted it.
To make good homes, and by implication a good society, an individual is expected to have an abode from which to take off and return at the end of each day. At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home. Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
If you're just joining us, you're watching Everyone Deserves a Home, an FMBN-sponsored program aimed at keeping you up to date with information about the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and its efforts towards providing affordable mortgage loans for Nigerians. In our next segment, Building Blocks, we'll be taking a look at the efforts the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has made in ensuring that houses and mortgages remain affordable for its customers in spite of economic challenges. Keep watching.
Over the last decade, there has been a global economic downturn which has affected nearly every facet of life. The Nigerian economy, despite its vast potentials, has had its fair share of economic challenges, from rising inflation to currency fluctuations, poverty, unemployment, and the likes. The Nigerian housing and mortgage sector is not left out of this economic challenge. The rise in the cost of living has affected both the demand and supply of houses and even mortgages.
It is widely known that the nation has been undergoing a period of some economic difficulties. For instance, inflation has, as at September this year, was around 33%. And of course, energy costs and food costs have been the primary drivers for the economic, the inflation in the economy. And of course, in addition to that, we've had the floating of the naira, and we've seen the naira also fall in value to as low as, which hovers around 1,700 naira to the dollar presently. And of course, these economic indicators have had a rollover effect on household income.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, despite the economic challenges affecting the Nigerian economy, has remained resolute in the delivery of affordable housing and mortgages for Nigerians.
Availability is relative because yes, you can have houses available, but are not affordable. And so that is actually the reason the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria ventured into construction financing, because ordinarily we are in the business of providing mortgages, which presupposes that the houses will be standing, and then we provide mortgages for individuals to offtake those houses. But because it is either that the houses are not available or houses available are not within the threshold of affordability for our target market, we decided to finance construction so we can control the cost at which such houses are delivered.
Given a deficit of housing stock, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has seen the need to engage in the construction of houses, which will in turn provide the avenue for mortgages to be created. Different products have been created by the bank for the construction of houses.
We are also exploring other avenues through which we can increase housing stock. One of the ways also is that we have several windows to finance construction. We have the cooperative housing development loan, where members of cooperatives can approach the bank, can design the kind of houses they want, cost those houses, and approach the bank for a loan to build the houses for their members. And when the houses are completed, we also provide mortgage loans for those beneficiaries. And then under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, for the housing sector. You will recall that Mr. President did the groundbreaking ceremony for 3,112 housing units at Karsana in Abuja under a global plan to deliver 100,000 houses across the country, starting with 50,000 houses as first phase. Now, in order to upscale the supply of houses, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria provided a 100 billion naira optical guarantee to the consortium of developers that are delivering those houses so that they can access funding to build the houses. And once these houses are constructed, we will then provide mortgage financing.
Maintaining and ensuring affordable housing delivery has been a deliberate act for the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Efforts are being put in place by the FMBN to ensure that houses remain within the threshold of affordability for the average Nigerian. One of the ways it is doing so is by redesigning building plans to fit into the financial level of the low and medium income earners. Other efforts have also been considered and implemented for the benefit of the average NHF contributor.
In this country, income levels are generally low, so we must be innovative in identifying what are those things we can do to achieve affordability for our target market, who are usually the low and the medium income earners. So to do this, one, we are looking at, for construction finance, we are looking at the designs. We are coming up now with organic designs, what we call organic designs, where you have, for example, a one-bedroom that can be expanded to a two-bedroom, or a two-bedroom that can be expanded to a three-bedroom, or a three-bedroom that can be expanded to a four-bedroom as the income level of the individual beneficiary improves. So those are part of the things that we are doing. Secondly, we are also sustaining the equity reduction regime. Before now, this bank required individuals that are taking mortgage facilities to provide 30% equity. This has now been reduced to 10%, especially for loans of between 5 million and 50 million naira, while loans of 5 million and below attract no equity. Thirdly, we are also expanding the rent-to-own mortgage option. What that does is that it obviates the need to provide equity. So an individual beneficiary will just move into the property and he pays installmental rent, either monthly, quarterly, or annually, and then over time the house becomes his. And so since the element of equity is removed, it makes affordability easier. So this is the three-pronged approach that we are adopting at the moment, while we are also thinking of other innovative ways through which we can address this challenge.
With remarkable efforts in delivering houses, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, in creating mortgages for its customers, has retained its interest rate, which still stands at a single digit, making the FMBN the only institution in Nigeria that offers mortgage loans at a single digit interest rate.
Despite the fact that as an institution we are also impacted by these macroeconomic pressures as well, we've retained our interest loan rates on mortgages at 6%. There remains 6%. And this is important to note that we are also facing pressures of increased operational costs, but we retained our income line of interest rates at 6% so that we can also maintain the affordability for our customers under the NHF scheme. Increasing the loan amount the FMBN provides is another effort the bank has put in place for its customers to benefit from. From a maximum loan limit of 15 million naira, the bank has increased its limits to 50 million naira. To meet the growing cost of housing delivery, we've increased the loan limits to a maximum of 50 million from the 15 million it was previously, because we're also cognizant of the fact that, particularly for those who are higher up the income ladder, their housing needs will definitely not fall within the 50 million loan limit that we have. And to deliver value to them and meet their needs also necessarily occasioned an increase in the loan limits that we're giving to them. Making sure that houses and mortgages are both available and affordable despite economic challenges is the goal of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. The FMBN is not resting on its oars until many more NHF contributors become homeowners through the National Housing Fund scheme.
Welcome back. Like we saw in the last segment of the program, the FMBN is tweaking its operations to see that more Nigerians get access to houses. That is why it is always a delight to share stories of NHF contributors who have benefited from the scheme. It stands as proof that the scheme is real. Stay tuned as we share the story of yet another beneficiary of the National Housing Fund scheme. Don't go away.
I can assure all Nigerians that if you apply, once it is available, you will get.
Definitely the scheme is real.
It's a big testimony to stop paying rent.
Excellent. Seriously excellent.
It works and is real.
This 3-bedroom semi-detached bungalow in the FMBN Minfa Estate, Owerri, is owned by Charity Sokwa, a beneficiary of the FMBN mortgage loan. She is a staff of the Federal Polytechnic Nekede in Imo State. The FMBN has put a smile on her face by changing her ugly yearly experience of flooding.
In 2012, when there was flood issue, I was one of the victims. That my house was flooded. Everything, I mean everything. This chair, everything was floating on the flood. My car was floating. NTA came and videoed us. That's the way you. Madam, what do you think? I said, this is a yearly occurrence. I'm leaving this place.
She moved into this serene and secured 3-bedroom apartment with everything needed to make it decent for living. As she says, her expectation was exceeded.
It has been awesome, you know. Living in your house, you are no longer paying. In as much as you are paying, you are no longer, even as much as it's a mortgage, but the joy that you are paying for your house is there. So I'm so happy that I'm paying for my house.
The satisfaction that glitters on the face of Madame Sokwa is enough to fight off every shadow of doubt in the minds of Nigerians about the sincere commitment of the FMBN towards mortgage service delivery.
I'm telling them it's real. Even my colleagues, because they said you are a risk taker. Yes, I took the risk and it's worth taking. So it's real. Owning a house is real. Your own house through Federal Mortgage Bank is a real thing. It's not a thing when you go in say, is this 419 or it's not 419. It's real. So I'm encouraging everybody out there. It's the safest way of owning a house.
What is the name of my grandson?
Suleiman.
That's a good name. May the Almighty preserve him.
Amen.
Now that your family is growing, this is the time for you to start thinking of a house of your own.
Abba, the thought of this has always been on my mind. To build a house now, you need a lot of money, and that is what is holding me back.
Sani, what you need is a mortgage. NHF mortgage loan. With NHF mortgage loan, you own a house upfront and pay gradually over a long period of time.
Abba, I will go to the FMBN office right away.
Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
How can a beneficiary apply for an NHF loan in a state that doesn't have a primary mortgage bank?
That's one of also the challenges we have, because it's not every state that has a primary mortgage. But instantly we see that there is no geopolitical region in the country that doesn't have a primary mortgage. So what we always advise prospective off-takers is that when you have such kind of a problem, you can go to any of our branches within your vicinity and explain this to them. They can easily, introduce you to any of any closest PNB to you. Because these PNBs used to move from one place to the other. Even if they are not in your town, they can come from where they are, package you, and then go back. So that's why you need to go to any of our branches, explain to them, and they can introduce you to a PNB that can package your application and then send to FMBN.
And that's our package on tonight's edition of Everyone Deserves a Home. Join me again, same time next week on this same station for another exciting edition. Until then, you can log on to our website on www.fmbn.gov.ng for more details about the NHF scheme, or you can stop by at any of our branch offices near you for more information about us. Take care and bye for now.